somewhere in the world and is walking. And today, he's talking to you. I'm Laura, and this is Walk and Talk with Dan Watkins.
Hey, so I'm still in Brazil at one of the nicest malls I think I've ever been to in my life. I thought Asia did a good job at these, but we're here in Brazil, and everything is luxury, from the restrooms to the restaurants to the brands that are here. I mean, this place is incredible. So anyways, I was talking with our new lady in marketing. I was leading it up for us, and she's like, Dan, I've heard you. Actually read some articles that you've got on the $1 million mistake that revenue leaders and CEOs, founders often make, but we haven't ever talked about it on here. And so I wanted to go through that a little bit. It just came to my mind while we were just sitting here, and I'm looking around, and this building had to be insane to go in and build. But basically what it comes down to is when you're a founder, you've got a lot of decisions. And one of them, the first ones that you're going to make as you start seeing a path to revenue, is the seniority of leadership that you're going to bring in and the titles that come with that. One of the things that we did really well at Qualtrics and any company that I consult is I help go do a level setting. If you go in and you hire let's say, for example, you've got 5 salespeople, and you go hire a VP of sales, a really good, true VP of sales that's going to be able to scale with you at 50, 100, 200, 300 salespeople, first off, costs a lot of money. You're going to be spending, for a really good one in the United States, you'll probably be spending about $750,000 a year for the very best one. You're going to be giving up a very substantial portion of equity. And if you're in, like, let's say, Series A type of company, you're looking at a minimum of 0.5% of the company to be able to go in and give them. And that money is basically completely unnecessary. The other problem that goes into it is not only did you end up spending more than you needed, senior leaders like that, they prefer almost always managing leaders who manage leaders. So what ends up happening is there becomes this major disconnect between the CEO and their VP of sales. Now, I'm going to play this out for you, how this could cost you easily $1 million this year. First off, my recommendation would be is that you hire a sales manager, somebody very capable, in fact, quite good at managing a team of up to 7. Your compensation is going to now drop in half, so you'll save yourself about $350,000 a year. So there's the first $350,000. You're also equity-wise a tiny fraction of that. And so equity dilution, you get a big savings. Then the next piece is when that VP of sales doesn't work out, which you've got about a 75% failure rate, and you can go look at it yourself. Just go pick any 10 random startups that were Series A, made it to Series B, and how often they change their CROs. I've seen companies in Utah where it's every 18 months. And I just look at the equity dilution, the wasted cash on those individuals. They make the same mistake over and over. Just go hire another VP instead of another manager. But anyway, so then the next thing to go in and take a look at is often VPs of sales are quite charismatic, and they're leaders, and so their people, so at least a good portion of them, really wanted to be with them. In fact, it's most common that leaders of sales, leaders of revenue, leaders of marketing, they're going to bring in a lot of their very best people with them. Since the average sales rep takes about 18 months in SaaS to go in and ramp, and then you're now going to be getting rid of your CRO in 18 months, finally, when your best sales reps that they brought with them are ready to leave, they're going to leave with that VP. They came with that VP. And so now you go look at the quotas that are finally ramped, and look at a minimum, they're going to have your best reps are going to be carrying at least $500,000 each of quota. Your mid-level reps are going to be carrying $1 million each, and your top reps $2 to $3 million of revenue a quarter. And so they finally get ramped. That fully ramped quota disappears. So let's just say that that sales leader brought in 3 reps with them. Those 3 reps now leave. That's another $1.5 million of revenue of quota that disappears with them. You now have to go in and hire them again. And so you go look at it. You've got to go hire. If you've got your own recruiting team, it's resources that you're now needing to spend the same resources again. If you use an outsourced third party, they're going to go get you some more resumes. And it's what this $1 million mistake, which now you do to show 3 reps, $500K minimum each of quota, $1.5 million. Then you take the wasted money you spent on a VP when you didn't need it, another $350, $1.85 million. What we do when we go in and we help companies recruit is we're not just a recruiting firm. If you want us to just bring people to you and you know exactly what you want, you're confident, you don't need any advice. There's lots of firms that can actually go in and bring resumes. What we do for our customers is we're going to come in and give advice. Regularly, the top advice that I'm giving is you actually don't need that senior of a leader or that senior of a rep. They're not going to fit well within your culture. That's going to cost you more money than needed. The most recent company we just hired a VP for, actually in this case, it was a sales director who needed to be capable of managing very, very senior enterprise reps. They were looking for a VP or a CRO in the beginning. And I was like, you don't need that. We saved them about $175,000 a year. And so you go look at that. What does it cost to hire us? You have the percentage of the base that we go in and charge way less than what they would have burned if they just gone the other direction. So there's your easy $1 to $2 million mistake that so many founders, Series A to Series B, go in and make. And they make the same mistake over and over. We'd love to help you out with that.
We put together a one-page breakdown that walks you through the actual math. What overthinking seniority costs you in comp, equity, and loss quota. Links in the description. Go run the numbers for your situation. And if you want to talk about what the right hire actually looks like for where you are right now, book a meeting with them. That link is also in the description. This podcast is brought to you by Databased, your partner in building revenue teams that actually perform.